Hi. We've been looking over the last couple of sessions on the Lord's Supper, the Eucharist, communion, different terms for the same thing, with a real view toward going deeper into what has been called the Great Mystery, moving beyond remembrance, which certainly it includes, but to participation, when he says, "This is my body and this is my blood." Today I want to look briefly at the cup, the blood of Christ. After he gave them the bread, Jesus took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." Throughout the Old Testament, covenant was always ratified by bloodshed. This goes all the way back to Genesis and continues through. And really, this ratification was saying that the covenant is unbreakable, it's permanent, and that's what Jesus was messaging to those sitting around the table at that Last Supper. That what is happening right now is permanent. In fact, beyond that, it is eternal. He speaks elsewhere of, we're going to do this at the great banquet, my Father's table, the Lamb's Supper. The scriptures say that the life is in the blood. And so, just as we said with the bread, his life is in us. He said, "I'm in you, you're in me." So as we partake of the wine, the cup, we become aware beyond just memory, but the actualization that there is a deep, profound unity taking place right now. That wine has become part of our body, that he has become part of us. He said, "My blood is true drink," in John 6. And this speaks of an incredible intimacy, an inseparable intimacy. And I believe that the cup, what he said here in this new covenant, it points directly to the cross. Notice he says that it is my blood poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I love that many, that always the inclusiveness from beginning to end. Christ was inclusive, and the gospel is inclusive. And he said, and this cup is for forgiveness. And there is a washing that takes place whenever I participate in the Lord's Supper. There's a washing, a purification. Again, like Psalm 51 talks about this forgiveness that cleanses us. But I also believe there's a rejuvenation, because I believe that in a mystery, the life of Christ is coming into me every time I participate in the Lord's Supper, which is why I like to regularly participate in the Eucharist. Every week we have a global house church, and every week part of that is we take communion together. There's another aspect briefly that I want to point out. The early church and the church fathers saw in the cup something deeply identificational with all those whose blood is shed, all of those who suffer. Like Christ, we are uniting with all of those in the world in their suffering and the injustice done against them. We've said before that Christ is everywhere. Colossians 1:17, he's in everything, he holds everything together. If he is in everywhere and everyone, then in one sense he's saying, this is all my blood. He's declaring that all bloodshed has eternal significance. So these are some of the things to ponder and to experience as we participate in the Lord's Supper.